Hey there! Sorry for the low quality of the video, I'm literally using potatoes to record this stuff. But I have finally completed the first walls of the city and I won't share the progress. And for copyright reasons, from now on I will call it Industrial City, or Sci-Fi Industrial City, I don't know. This is not Necromunda. I don't want to talk about the suicidal marketing choices of Games Workshop that in the recent months have infuriated the whole community, also because everyone has already talked about for weeks. Rather, I want to show you some new stuff. I decided to make the walls of two lengths. One is 18 cm and the other is 24 cm, which from now on I will call the small and the large wall, even if the difference in the length is not so much. I tried to use some magnets to hold the walls and the columns together, but the power is not enough to hold, and they are not even necessary after all. In the next tests, I want to try to replace the magnets with some open lock clips to see if they can hold the weights. The walls and columns are divided into 3 sections so they can be assembled in different combinations of level and height. I already know I'm going to end up creating a stupidly huge terrain with different levels and biomes. Which biomes are you wondering? There is the abandoned housing zone, the black market, the industrial zone, forges, acid farm, enforcers, stations,
the bottom of the hive, the sewers, the other hive.
Infinite stuff to build. If the walls are made by multiple parts glued together, the columns, on the other end, are printed entirely in sections, with 8 hours of print, and can be modified just gluing the extra part on it. I know what you are thinking. Oh my god, putting all that stuff together must be a nightmare. Actually, it's not as difficult as it seems, but I admit I had to look a photo of the assembled 3D model to be sure to glue all in the right place. The secret is to keep the printed pieces tile separated from each other until the assembly. Printing fails can happen sometimes, like in this case. It is always a good thing to hide them by making small modify and adding a lot of rust. Sometimes a defect is the best thing that can happen in a terrain like this. It gives to it a particular charm. Speaking of rust, I'm using this product from Mixed Media Art, which is not expensive, so I ended up maybe purchasing too much of this stuff. However, there is the link in the description if you would like to try. Many companies in the globe sells this type of product. You have just to search on the internet real rust paint. After several tests, mixing the acrylic colors with the 2 components, the metal powder and the oxidizing liquid, I ended up to choose the easiest method. Simply brushing all together on the model. But for this to work it is important to protect the paint with a protective varnish, or the corrosive component B that makes it rust will melt the acrylic colors in the process. And I almost forgot the protection. This stuff is toxic and we must be careful. Fortunately, it doesn't stink apart from a slight smell of iron. This product has pros and cons. There is little control over the final result, and for some having to wait 24 hours could be an agony. But with such large models, painting all the rust will take hours of work, with the only advantage to have total control over the desired effect. Another annoying thing I noticed is that after the matte varnish, a grey patina has formed in some areas. It is not the end of the world, but I had to waste more time to fix it with some paint, and every time I touch the models, my hands stink of iron, even with the coat of varnish. If these things don't bother you, then it's the right product for you, but remember to always use protective gear. This stuff is dangerous, especially for your eyes. Like for the city floor, I have made an internal plastic structure that is not mandatory. I could have easily used cardboard, polystyrene or any other material to make it. The important thing is to respect the dimensions. An extra piece goes between the section of the wall to make them stick together. Gravity will do the rest of the job. Yeah, this is high engineering. If you want to know how I created the beautiful graffiti on the walls, I've put a link in the description to a very well done video tutorial. It's a simple method, but for me it's a game changer. I hope you enjoyed the video. The next stuff I want to do is to experiment with more platforms of various sizes and more wall types. But until the next video, thanks for watching.